All right, folks, welcome to another episode of Cliff's Notes. Today we're going to unpack the reasons why you might need to be looking to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Coming up next on Cliff's Notes. Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. Woo! We guarantee it today, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? It sure is good to be here and be in Dallas, Texas, Lincoln Center to be exact. And we are pumped, super pumped here to have a very special guest on our show. Rachel Cahill, welcome, and also C3, our co-host. It's great to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Well, we're gonna. I'll tell you what. The old, the story, the legal pad and the pen. You better get it out today. We're gonna have rider downers, and you're gonna find out how you can wind up in that top 1% of all real estate agents in the country. Coming up next here, but first we got to do a check-in with our co-pilot Travis back in the control room. Travis, how you doing, sir?
Good to see you. Good to be here. How you guys feeling today?
Listen, every time I hear his voice, it's just like a little angel speaking, landed right up here on my shoulder.
I've not had that compliment before. That is a very first, I promise you.
Well, you do have a very angelic voice. What can I say, Travis?
I like it. I appreciate it, Cliff.
Yeah. Now, I got to confirm a rumor with you because,
okay.
You're our sports expert here. And rumor has it that the Dallas Cowboys, for the rest of the season, are going virtual. Have you heard anything about that?
I think in the words of one of my coworkers earlier, they've already gone virtual.
Oh, they've gone virtual.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing in the fantasy football league the rest
Exactly.
of the season, right? Okay. No.
Exactly.
We just kidding. We love our Cowboys. I wish they'd become cowmen, though. It's about time, isn't it?
Enough.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is right. And also, with a little shout out again, if you missed last week, we want to thank the Stars for a great season. We'll take runner up, although we would have loved to have won. But what a great season for
Go
the Stars.
Stars.
All right. Speaking of Stars, let's see. I guess it was about how many months ago? February of this year.
Yeah.
That our little group made one of the best decisions, and hopefully Rachel made a good decision. I think she did to partner with us and join us. And you really completed I want to say a hole in our company at that time. We just didn't have anybody with your skills and experience and wisdom to come on board and help us right now. But since you've come on board, and you can read about this, but we now have a group of 36 agents here locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area who are flourishing.
Yeah.
We've built our group with EXP, our network, to over 5,000 agents. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. And our goal is to double that for the next year. And we could not have done it if we had built our house on shaky grounds and built it on sand. We have absolutely brought a rock into the company here to build on rock, and we're going to talk a little bit about why this is the best place to be. And really, if you're going to be getting in the real estate business, if you're thinking about it, if you're stuck somewhere, maybe your production's not where you want it to be and you're not able to self-actualize and really kill it, then this show is going to be for you. So we're going to start out a little bit and just sort of talk about the things that we're doing. Rachel, let's give us a little bit of background on you. Some people know who you are, and others watching the show today may not have met you, but you've got quite an illustrious career because we met, 15 years ago?
It's, I think, been about that long, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I actually started off working a part-time job. It was supposed to be a part-time job while I was in college, just being a receptionist at a mortgage banker's office, and that actually turned out to be very interesting to me. So I started processing and I did loan origination, and then I finally got smart and left the bank and went to mortgage brokering. And from there, I also opened up a contract loan processing company. So We handled all of the paperwork and stuff and did a lot of compliance and things for mortgage brokers so they could focus on sales. So it was really a really creating a support system for the loan officers so they could build their sales. And I sold that company in 2009 because I had also begun teaching and doing compliance work, and that just kept me on the road a lot with the education side of it. I was traveling like 2 or 3 weeks a month, and I just couldn't handle running that company and doing the education side. So I ended up selling that company in 2009, and I think it's still going. I don't keep tabs on it too much, but I do think that's still going there. And I've been in Dallas for about, I think, 14 years now, and I've been teaching here full time, and I've recently decided, a handful of years ago, I decided to go ahead and get that license that you told me to get back in 2009. You bugged me about it, and I didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I finally did go ahead and get that license, and I've been really enjoying the real estate side of the business, and it's given me a lot of personal freedoms to do what I want to do and bring in my education background so that I can help with mentoring and things like that, because I have so much industry experience having worked for mortgage bankers. I also worked for a mortgage compliance. I was the compliance director for a mortgage banker here in town, and I ran their software project for about 7 years. So I have this really kind of strange background that a lot of people don't have in this industry, because I've been on both sides. I've been on the agent side, I've been on the loan officer side, I've been even on the lending side, on the back end side of it. So I know all the moving parts, and so that's really helped me with all the things that I do on our team, with mentoring and things like that. And I know the contracts, inside and out, because I really believe in being a professional and knowing those documents.
Yeah.
And so that's really the kind of things that I like to bring to what I do.
Well, they say if you really want to get good at something, you should teach it, and boy, you'll get good at it for sure. And there's so many things that go on inside of a real estate transaction, and it from all sides, and that's what really helps. And having a heart of a teacher, someone who really cares about how your agents are progressing, and so let's talk a little bit about your role here with us now, and
Sure.
kind of, I don't want to say the mama hen, but you definitely play a very special role, particularly with new agents coming into the business,
Yeah.
as we all do. We all try to help. C3 does an amazing job with onboarding, helping people get set up with the lead generation, KV Core, and so forth. And then your relationship with the agents and the way you benefit them is how in the beginning?
Well, when you first start in this business, you start off really just not knowing what you're doing. You start off, so you finally do get that buyer lead, and you're like, wow, this is great. I got somebody, and I'm going to go show them houses. And sometimes even that alone is kind of intimidating, because if you don't know how to run a super box, how to use your phone to get in there. I mean, I've answered all kinds of questions, making sure that people know what they're doing, so that they can be prepared and look like they've been in the business for a while. Because the thing is, like, with your clients, you want to look the professional part. So even if this is your first year in the business, I can partner with them and mentor them so that they don't even know the difference, that their clients would never know that this is their first deal, or things like that. We had one set of clients that I was working with one of our newer agents, and the clients actually specifically said, because we got on the phone with the clients too to kind of give them some comfort, because this was that agent's first deal. And so she had specifically said, hey, I know everybody's got to start somewhere, and I don't mind that, but I really do appreciate that you've got your mentor working with you on my deal so that I feel comfortable, and I know that you're getting the best advice so that I'm getting the best advice. So I love that you guys are partnering up, and I'm very excited about that, to work with you guys. So it was a good deal for that agent.
And it really is. I mean, we're not a 400 agent market center or 500 or 600. We're not trying to be McDonald's of
Absolutely
real
not.
estate, right? So,
Yeah.
for agents who are shopping brokers right out of school looking around, they see the big monuments to the franchisor and everything, and it's very impressive. But the reality is that the resources that are dedicated to you at these what I call big box realtors are very limited. In fact, I started out, I was a coach for new agents with a wonderful brokerage. I mean, nothing wrong with them at all, but that you just don't get the kind of one-to-one experience. Not only to mention what you throw in. I mean, we've got a coach that we brought in from outside.
Right.
We've actually partnered with Viral Workman Success Systems. I mean, there is you really have to. You just have to not put the effort in, I would say, pretty much, in order not to be successful here. I mean, I can't promise you 100%, but I can tell you that you're going to have the best shot anywhere with us. And you know, our goal for the average agent beginning with us is we want to see you do 150,000 your first year. I mean, that's just, if your expectations aren't that high, then maybe you need to look somewhere else. But how do we do that? And C3, you can speak a little bit about lead generation and so forth. How are we, I mean, that's kind of your wheelhouse, and both you guys work that side, but I mean, how are we getting leads to people? We have, ISAs?
Yeah,
How does all that work?
And I'm sure Rachel can step in as well whenever
Sure.
she would like, but
Yeah.
we have a in-house ISA team, and that consists of 2 ISAs at the moment, and they're constantly generating, going through the newly generated leads and following up with the nurtures. And so we'll actually take in the leads that we get, qualify them, and then send them out to the agents that are in our group based off of which areas they work. And that's been really successful because, you know, the agents can still go do their own business, but we're going to continue to feed them leads if they would like to take them at a certain percentage. And so outside of the ISA group, we also send our leads to all of the agents that opt in for and that qualify for that program in regards to getting raw leads, essentially. And what that is just someone that signs up on our website, and then we continue to, you know, make that contact until we do, and then they either buy or they die. So.
We follow them until they buy.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And it's not, they don't just happen to come on our website. We have a huge budget for pay-per-click, and we're working directly with Google right now to optimize our account and you know, generate even more leads for folks. But we've also got the Prosper Real Estate Expert newspaper coming out. It's going to hit 11,000 homes in Prosper. 12 pages, beautiful newspaper. You know, we've got room for 5 advertisers in there. We're going to have tons of great market information and stuff. Really excited about that.
Yeah.
But so the thing is that most agents, the reason why, you guys know the number one reason why agents fail in this business. What is it? Do you guys know?
Consistency.
Having a plan.
A
strategy.
I think that all comes into play, but the number one reason is they don't have any clients.
No
That's
clients.
a problem, yes.
So they don't have
for
any
sure.
leads, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have any leads in this business, then all of that time you spent is for naught, right? I mean, you can look busy all the time, but until you actually get clients and generate money off of those, then you might as well be twiddling your thumbs, right?
Right.
And a lot of agents burn out because they're super busy, but they're not generating money. They're not generating revenue. So that's one of the things when it comes to coaching. And you know, I got to ask you guys a question. Do you know any pro golfers that don't have a coach? I think, who was the one guy? There was one guy that had the weird swing that never had a coach his whole life.
Tommy Gainey.
Tommy Gainey. No.
Tommy Two Gloves.
Two Gloves? No, I don't think it was him. But there was somebody at one time, and I'll think of who it was in a minute. But if you look at the top real estate agents in North America, what you're going to find is that they all have invested in themselves with a coach, someone who is there to shine the light, help them, and has got experience helping build teams, helping people double their business and continue to grow. And you know, coaching, if you're just getting in the business and somebody says, here, there's a phone book, there are your leads, you know, here's a desk, get on the phone and call, your chances of succeeding are about the same as winning the lottery or getting struck by lightning.
That is
right?
a super tough way to start.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So going back, Rachel, to what you were saying about how we sort of ensure that agents are going to be successful, let's talk about this. I mean, we even have kind of an earn while you learn program, right?
Yes.
And so for agents who are just getting started, we have an opportunity for you to earn money while you're learning, right? As a showing agent, we're going to find a way to help you get involved in the process and not go broke. You know, most agents, most brokers will tell you when you go interview, that you need to have how much money up in savings before you can get into real estate?
I've heard at least up to a year to 6 months worth of saved.
Yeah, at least.
Okay,
Income.
six months to a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you're brand new in the business, it takes that long to get your conversion put together and get some comfort level there so that you can, really get comfortable with getting that lead turned into a buyer or turned into a seller and turning that into an actual deal. So it takes a while sometimes for agents to get their first deal, and it's really, really hard. I mean, we talk about that statistic, we're in that first renewal period, the first 2 years here in Texas, so many agents don't renew on their first license renewal because they haven't gotten that confidence level up yet to where they can do that. And so I think you talking about the earn while you learn. That's where my approach with the mentoring, with the agents that are working with me, I have them helping me on a lot of my transactions so that they can kind of figure things out and get more comfortable, whether it's doing showings and, just getting comfortable being around buyers and having those conversations, seeing inspections happen, being part of contract negotiations and really getting a better feel for that and how to look for comps. I've, going through, how to do searches in Matrix, doing
Right.
the MLS searches.
Right,
I mean, all
right.
of those things are very overwhelming, and you have to know all these little tricks in there to know how to tweak things right to get the right results.
Yeah. So let's talk about some red flags. If I'm out interviewing with a broker and I ask the broker, what about lead generation? How are you going to help me with lead generation? And they say, well, we're going to teach you how to work your database, your friends and your family.
Yeah, sphere of influence.
Your sphere of influence, right? And here I am right out of college, or I'm
I don't know
26
anybody,
years old.
or
and
they just
none
moved
of my
here.
peers have enough money right now to put a down payment down on the house.
Yeah.
And how is that going to work? Well, let me just tell you, if that's their answer, you might want to shop around a little bit, right? For some reason, I guess they want you to operate on your friends and family. I would rather operate on a cadaver than kill somebody I know and love, right?
My goodness.
Isn't
that true?
But if you need to find you need a relationship with a broker that's going to help you with lead generation and provide, if not provide leads for you, at least train you and teach you how to lead generate. Now, I'm not talking about calling expires and FSBOs right out of the gate.
That's
or I'm
not
not
a
talking
good thing
about
to do
going
off
and
the bat.
wearing your knuckles out on somebody's front door.
Yes.
We can't even do that now. That's COVID, right? And if you're going to wait around and try to get all the soccer moms and stuff to use you to buy a house, I mean that's kind of that's hope, but that's really not a strategy when
Correct.
it comes. You need to have a consistent flow of leads and a system to convert them and to use them, right? And that's what we train people. Okay, all right. So I just kind of wanted to. We've talked about a lot of the benefits, the training, coaching, mentoring, and so forth. And I just kind of made a little list over here. Let's talk about some other things. We talked about leads. How important is it to have the right tools? We are exclusively right now in North Texas using a tool that some friends of mine in Virginia built called APC pricing. Rachel, you know about appraisals. You're super smart. You probably have taught more people than most appraisers have done houses here. So tell us how beneficial it is to have a tool like APC.
Well, APC is a really great tool, and I can actually just use it on my most recent listing. I was actually like the 6th agent to come in on the listing appointments, which was perfect for me because I was able to ask that seller, what have you heard so far? What is it that you're looking for, and what kind of things did you find in there that, weren't really hitting the mark? So I was able to go in there and kind of, figure out what was going on, what he was hearing. And then I could tell by what he was telling me that this guy was a data guy. And just knowing that personality type, when I showed him the APC tool, which gives you all of these beautiful analytic tables, and it shows you your price conversion. So, if you sell at this price, you're likely to, get, your best pricing and your best sales time. So this guy just was immediately blown over by the APC. He's like, I love your tool. I'm ready to sign up. I mean, literally, that's what he said to me. And I priced it right, went on the market. On the first day, we had 11 showings, 30-minute increments, back to back to back to back, all the way from 12:30 down to 7:45 at night. And we got the offer that night.
Wow.
So there's a story for you for APC.
Yeah, and so you attribute the success of that listing, and first of all, getting the listing, because I mean, we all know how, pricing is probably the first thing on a seller's mind is, what can you sell my house for? And
Right.
agents will walk in there with a CMA. They've never seen the inside of the house. So what's different about APC? About, if I walk in with a CMA, how easy is it for me to tweak that CMA in real time?
Well, you can't. It's all old data. It's what happened in the past. And what's beautiful about APC is that it allows you to customize that report. So what I do is I go in and I meet with the seller. I say, okay, I'm thinking we're looking at a ballpark of this, but I really don't want to talk numbers until I've seen the house, because I don't really understand what it is that I'm selling until I've been inside your doors. So going in there, and then I can understand the layout, the condition, and how that compares to what else is on the market. And then I can make adjustments on that in the APC tool based on those things. And then it continues to tweak that adjustments, to tweak those adjustments and make that pricing more accurate for that seller. So it gives you a good price range bracket once you get through all those little fine-tuning adjustments.
Well, and not only that, but it's got predictive capability too.
Yes, and I
so
love the seasonality.
the seasonality.
That was
right,
another
is a-
thing that I talked about with that seller, because he was trying to decide, he's actually building a home out of state. And so
Right.
he's, should I sell in the spring? Should I sell now? And I said, right now we're in a seller's market. So, I think you should take advantage of that, because who knows what's going to happen in the spring post the election with COVID. We don't know where we're going to be, but I know where we're at now. And I think you can take advantage of a super high market and capture the most profit for yourself. So knowing all of those things and the seasonality factors that are in APC, I was able to show all of that to them.
It's amazing. You can even make tweaks and adjust sales price, see how it affects days on market,
Right.
see how it affects the probability of the sale, and so forth.
Yeah.
How much of an unfair advantage do you think that gives somebody in a competitive listing situation?
Well, the fact that I go in with a tool that's really customizable allows me to blow the competition away, because they're going in with a little sheet of paper that says, here are the listings that closed in the last 3-6 months or whatever, and it's just static data. There's nothing very impressive about this. I'm going in there with all these analytic charts, and with this great chart, this graph that shows here's your house, and it's kind of a scattergram thing that shows where your pricing is, where your house sits. It's got these graphs and things like that are on there that show the pricing versus the time on market and things like that. So
But
it just blows the competition
right,
away.
and you can
It's
go
amazing.
in and make real-time adjustments while you're giving the presentation.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I've already marked these kind of somewhat okay. Like, now that I've seen your house, can we go ahead and make these adjustments based off of what I've seen and what you've told me? And it's
Well, it gets them
incredible.
involved in the process,
Right,
right?
and then you can
Yeah.
explain outliers in the standard deviations, the first and second standard
There you
deviation.
go.
So,
Yeah.
and if you
Econ
can,
major here.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love economics, but
Yeah.
you can totally. I mean, it's just incredible the unfair advantage that we would have going into a listing presentation.
I love it.
Sure.
I just love it.
Yeah. Well, that's and these are tools, but look, in order to really understand the opportunity and the depth here, we got to talk a little bit about the platform that we're on. We got to talk about EXP for a minute and
Right.
and the 5 pillars of income. There's not very many places that you can sell real estate and have the opportunity to earn a living 5 different ways. And we're all so blessed here, and I just want to say that our lives have changed. We've seen the lives of many other people changed. I'm not trying to suggest you need to go out and buy stock in this company, but what I can tell you is in the past 4 or 5 months, we're up about 500% or more. I think we're up $50-something plus a share right now. And for people who have been putting away stock through the equity purchase program,
Yeah.
for people who have been awarded stock, I don't know how many millionaires have been created in our company, agents who are now millionaires.
Over the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just on paper. I mean,
Yeah.
the stock that you buy is free trading stock. The stock that you earn, yes, there is a vesting requirement, but it's free money, okay? I mean, so I mean, wouldn't you expect you'd have to maybe wait for it a little bit, just
For
like
sure.
executives who are granted
Right.
stock options,
Right.
they can't go sell them right away. I mean, that's
Right.
stupid,
Exactly.
right? But to be able to have that and not even really even think about it, because up to this point, there's really been no way to retire in real estate. My idea of retiring, unfortunately, was dragging snotty-nosed kids schlepping around in the backseat of my car with their parents, and while I'm getting my wheelchair out of the back so I can roll them in and show them the house, right? I mean, that's honestly, I mean, we bless their hearts, we know people who are in their 80s that are still licensed. You had them in your class.
Oh, definitely.
Classes that are selling real estate, bless their
Yes.
hearts, there's no way out, right? There was no way out.
Absolutely.
But now, there is an answer. And,
90s.
And yeah,
I've
that's
literally
right.
had 90s
Yeah,
people
I
in
had
class.
Virginia Cookin when I
Yeah.
was teaching an MCE
There you
class years ago, and she was in my class,
There you
bless her
go.
heart, and wonderful, wonderful lady. Gosh, she was such a Hall of Famer. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that, and then you look at the other pillars of income, I mean, icons get their cap back, $16,000 worth of company stock when you sell, a good amount of real estate. I mean, the company rewards that type of production. We even have at the Cliff Freeman Group, we've got rewards too. In fact, you drove your reward up to the studio today.
I did.
We didn't bring a picture of it, but she's got this beautiful. What is that? It's
Lexus RX 350.
350,
Yeah.
RX 350,
Yeah.
beautiful car, and we're
Love
so
it.
excited that you earned that. In production, you're worth way more than that, but
Yeah.
we just like to acknowledge your contribution, and we reward our cappers with we want them to drive a nice car, right? Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, something like that. So we actually the team puts its money where its mouth is, and makes that affordable for them. And we have the fee reward program for people at a certain production level and so forth. I mean, it's really we've tried to create the perfect place, the perfect home for agents to come in and be happy and stay and create generational wealth, which leads me to the revenue share aspect of what EXP provides on the platform, and it's a revenue share program unmatched by anything else. And it's one of those things where if you've never experienced passive income, and many of us had not, I hadn't experienced passive income until I got here, there's nothing like it. Whether I'm asleep, whether I'm ill, whether I'm on vacation in the Bahamas, the money is coming in. And so for most agents, the ability to generate a few $1,000s a month in additional income by helping grow the company, that's a substantial difference. I mean, it's going to make a huge difference in the outcome of their lives and the way their kids grow up. And this is my undeserving, unwashed heirs here. Or I mean, all of this stuff we're building up is willable, which is that
Yeah.
crazy? I mean, it continues, and so we're just very thankful to Glenn Sanford for having the vision of creating this company. And a lot of people think it's brand new, right? But
Right.
when did he create this? 2009.
2009, right after
Yeah,
2000.
he was a mega
Yeah.
agent for Keller Williams and kind of honed in on the stuff that we do, which is generating massive amounts of leads for, off the internet, buyer leads and so forth. And Glenn was really good at it. And he had a vision right before the crash, or during, it's actually right as the stuff was hitting the proverbial fan. And he wanted a company that would survive without offices. Can you imagine that? I mean, what a visionary that was.
Right.
Right? Until this year, until March, right? And now we all know how important it was to be able to continue to operate a business
Yeah.
without having the brick and mortar, because nobody could get into the office, right? And still,
We were already doing that.
yeah, and I think right now, I mean, New York is somewhere around 15% occupancy. They've opened it up to 50%, but nobody wants to go into the office right now.
Right.
Nobody wants to take that chance.
Too afraid, yeah.
So we've got,
Scary.
I don't know, 700-800 employees. I thought about it the other day. So Glenn's in
incredible.
Bellingham. Jason Gessing, our CEO, is in Boston. Dave Kennard, our president,
Philly.
is in Philadelphia. Stacy Onan, our vice president or president of brokerage operations, is in Arizona. Chris Bear, vice president of growth and
International?
no,
Or-
I'm sorry, growth and expansion.
Expansion, yeah.
He's actually traveling between
Australia.
Charlotte and Melbourne.
Yeah.
Michael Valdez
is
is
New
head
York
of worldwide
International.
expansion now, and he's in New York and has a condo in Miami. And then we've got Sam Rodriguez over on the west. I mean, this company literally is the world is our corporate office.
Well, I think,
And-
Stacy mentioned on the show when she was on a month ago or so, maybe a little over a month ago, how she said that she had never even met Glenn or anybody. She had never seen anybody
was
face to
Courtney.
face. Oh, it was
Courtney
Courtney that
Sanford.
said that. Yeah.
Courtney's
I
in
couldn't
San
remember.
Francisco.
Yeah,
That's
Courtney.
right. Yeah.
She had said,
Yeah.
I got hired and I
Courtney.
had never even met anybody, for like a month and a half, because we had all done all of our meetings in the world.
Right.
So once I had a Zoom call with everybody, I was like, oh, hey, those. But she says she didn't think anything of it. I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it really is fascinating when you think about it that we have almost 1,000 employees. But look at the and I got to blow the horn here a little bit, because I think in the past week we've had 599. Was that the number? 599.
Last week we had 599 agents join.
599 agents joined.
Yesterday we had 161 agents
Yesterday,
join.
161 agents joined.
The day before that, 118.
118.
And then again on Monday we had another 161.
Wow, you got the stats, man.
He is
Yeah.
the statistician
I'm
guy.
impressed.
I don't say much, but when I
You've been
do,
hanging around Trellis a lot or something.
One thing that I can speak. I had 2 agents come on with me this week, and both of them were very, very impressed by the overall program. And the thing that drove them to EXP was the ability to find some kind of a retirement plan. They're in traditional real estate situations, there's not a way to get out of that. You bring somebody on and the broker says, hey, thanks for bringing this person on. They're such a great member of our team and they're making me so much money, But in our situation, when you bring on someone into EXP, the whole company benefits from it. So what I love about EXP is even in things like the workplace, we haven't talked about workplace yet, but it's our own internal Facebook group. That's intranet. So powered by Facebook. And what I love is the ability to go in there and you say, I have a question. I mean, like you see things, about how to do your signs, how to do, everything. I need an open house idea or something, And everybody from around the country and around the world is hopping in and trying to help out this agent who had this question and support them. Because you know what's best for that agent and what makes that agent money? Makes money for the whole company, and then everybody in the company benefits from that because of the revenue share. And so this retirement strategy, this exit strategy is not possible in other models and that's what's so different about EXP, and that's why the 2 agents that I brought in just this week came in just on that on that
the
premise.
legacy model where you've got about a bunch of franchisees kind of competing with each other and fighting with corporate for wanting, why are we paying so much royalty, and when you're going to do some advertising for us and stuff like that. It's gone. There are no walls, no fences. It's a $16,000 cap, and you can operate anywhere that you'd like as long as you have a license there. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And you get to hop on the fastest rocket ship that there ever was in terms of being able to expand. If you're into expansion, I mean, there is no better place than here. There's no double taxation on your business if you want to expand here. Were you going to
we do have some imitators in the marketplace, but are nowhere near anything of the model.
That's paying homage to greatness.
Isn't that what's the saying? Imitation is the
best form of flattery. It's the moderate paying gratitude to the greatness.
Yeah,
to that point, with some of those imitators, one of the things, because our cap is not necessarily the cheapest cap, but by the same token, without everybody paying into the company and supporting what the company does as a whole, then programs like the revenue share program don't have money to run on, and the brokerage EXP as a whole does not have enough funding. So those companies that are offering all of these discounted everything, and they're not going to be financially sound for long terms.
No, if you're trying to be the low cost provider in this business, it's a race to the bottom. And the bottom is not where you want to be, because you're going to be broke every single time. Wow, I just
there has to be some profit to share.
I just looked at the clock. Do you realize that we've been here for half an hour already?
Wow,
yeah,
that went
I think
fast.
Somebody else. Yeah, I know I've got a meeting here in a little bit, and we didn't even get to talk about the healthcare options.
I mean, gosh, the healthcare.
Our family is saving $500 a month.
Yeah, I'm saving about $500 a month off of mine. I was in a marketplace plan, and it's insane how much I'm saving. And the way they structure the healthcare program is so much better than the traditional, deductibles and things like that. So it's an amazing healthcare program.
Yeah,
really,
and we're
really
trying
great.
to get Margot to Cabo. By the way, if you'd like to go to Cabo, it's sold out, but we might be able to find a seat for you. let us know. I know, Travis, we got you covered. You coming? He's coming. I know he's coming.
Oh, yeah.
February 21st to the 26th. And it's a mastermind that we're involved with. It's going to be one of the biggest events in real estate in 2021. We're hopeful that Mexico opens up to 75% so we can get some more folks down there. But it is going to be something that you absolutely, if you have any desire to accelerate your game and really get to the top of the top, this is your chance to do it right now.
I am really ready for this trip, not just because I need the mastermind, because I love masterminds. I love going in and getting all intense, but I need a vacation, so I need to get out. So I'm so excited.
We're kind of going a little stir crazy here.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
COVID stir crazy for sure.
Yeah. So really, I mean, I hope there's a lot of things on my list here we didn't get to about education and other things that we'll probably have to pick this up on another show. But I wanted to do this show today to reach those of you, because as we're closing out the summer, now we're moving into the fourth quarter. This is a really good time to reassess your business and to take a look at things and ask yourself, am I really getting the value that I need? Am I getting the help? Am I getting the mentoring and the coaching and the training that I need to self-actualize, to really be the best that I can be? And ask yourself, am I doing the right thing for my family? Because I think what you're going to find, if you just take a close look around you, you're going to see a lot of people coming to EXP. And this is not some flash in the pan, folks. There are reasons. There are very solid reasons why people are coming here. And if you can be open-minded and at least, take a look and see. And don't go to the Ford dealership to ask about how the Tesla runs and all that kind of stuff. They're not going to give you the right answer. But if you're interested and you have, a desire to do better, reach out to us at the Cliff Freeman Group. You can reach out to me, Rachel, C3. We're all over Facebook. Our website is there's a great one at www.cliffordfreeman.com. Little information, little video on there for you to watch. But we'd love to hear from you. There's nothing better. It's like I learned that somebody taught me, Lars Hedenborg, as a matter of fact, was teaching me about his philosophy about coaching and bringing people up. And he said, I'm only here for a limited time, and I want to light a bunch of candles while I'm here so I can get a good spot when I get up there.
I love that.
And that's the way we run. That's our core values. That's the way we feel. So give us a call. Let us love on you. And in the meantime, gosh, have a great rest of your week. Look at this beautiful weather we're having. Enjoy the fall, and wish you good golf, good tennis, and we'll catch you next week right here on Cliff's Notes. All right, folks, tune in to Cliff's Notes every Thursday at 1 o'clock Central for the tips, tricks, and tactics to explode your business. I guarantee it!